Okay, let's wait for people to come. Let's share my screen. Yeah, I think let's start slowly. Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna in this lessons in the 5 lessons I'm gonna introduce you the Formula One race and Formula One is one of the most exciting sports, extreme sports maybe we can say extreme sports in the world. Formula One also known as F1. So now, uh, uh, if you are ever heard the sound of powerful engines roaring, or if you have ever seen cars moving faster than you can imagine, this is your this is Formula One. But what exactly is F1 is? Let's start from the beginning. Okay, let's start with our overview. What are we gonna learn? And we are gonna learn what is F1. We're gonna learn history of F1. We're gonna take a look at where does F1 take place. We're gonna take a look at drivers and teams. We're gonna take a look at how does a race weekend work. We're gonna look at F1's technology, strategy, and safety. And we're gonna look legends of F1 history, legends in the F1 history. So let's start with what is F1, known as Formula One. Formula One is the highest class of international motorsport. Of course, there's a F2 and F3. This is the highest class of international motorsports. It's basically cars racing, where the world's best drivers compete using the most advanced, fastest, and most expensive racing cars in the world ever built in the world. The name formula refers to a set of rules of a formula that every team and car must follow, and the one means is the top level. So the number one is one class in racing, means we are the number one. Exactly. And each race is called as a Grand Prix, which is French for great prize. This is French words, and great prize. That means great prize. And all the races together form a championship, which takes place every year across the world, from Europe to Asia, America, and the Middle East. Okay, let's take a look at history of F1. Uh, the roots of Formula One go all the way back to the early 20th and 20th century, like 1950s. Before F1 officially existed, there were already car races in all across the world, in Europe, in France, Italy, and Britain. the first official Formula One World Championship race took place in United Kingdom uh, at Silverstone in the 1950. That's when the F1 all began. I'm sorry. In those early years, in those years, teams like Ferrari, Alfa Romeo, and Maserati dominated the races generally, and cars were completely different uh, back then. As you see on the photos, cars is not looking as the new ones, of course, and the wheels, the front engines, the minimal safety, everything was different. Drivers, helmets or goggles, everything was different. And in the 1960s and 70s, engineering and aerodynamics became more advanced, getting improved by the companies. And in the 1980s and 90s, technology exploded, as you know, in every single in every single mm, thing. The technology exploded, and with the computers and turbo engines, the cars designs got very complex. And today, Formula One is the global most known uh, race in the world. Okay, let's continue with where does one take place? Formula One is a world championship, so the races happens all over the world in the year. Each year there are 22, 24 races in different countries. Some of the, as you see in the picture, this is 2025's calendar, race calendar. As you see, there's Australia, China, Japan, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, USA, Italy, Monaco, Spain, Canada, Austria, United Kingdom, Belgium, Hungary, Netherlands, Italy, Azerbaijan, Singapore, USA, Mexico, Brazil, USA, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi, as you see. Also, Turkey was in the calendar 2022, uh, and I hope it will come again 2026, Turkey, and we can watch it live in Istanbul Park. Uh, some of the I want to talk about some of the most famous circuits include Monaco. It's a street race, so popular in the F1. Monza in Italy. It's called Temple of Speed by the people around the people. It's called Temple of Speed, Monza in Italy. And Silverstone in the UK, the first where it all began, uh, where the F1 began. So it's so famous, Silverstone. And etc. etc. Let's pass this to. Let's come to the drivers and teams. F1 has there there are 10 teams, and there are 20 drivers racing against each other every season. Every teams has two drivers, and some legendary teams are, as you see in the picture, by the way, Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull Racing, McLaren, Williams, Aston Martin, Alpine, Haas, and others. And Ferrari, let's talk about a little bit teams. Ferrari is the oldest and most iconic team. Uh, what's happening? Stay in the call. Okay, let's continue. And the Mercedes uh, with known with Lewis Hamilton, the driver. It became famous with Lewis Hamilton. It became dominates the races with Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton. It's now in the Ferrari, by the way, the 2025 in now, right now. Red Bull Racing is the most popular, one of the most popular teams in the F1. It's known as Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen dominates F1 like past 5 years. He has so many championships, and McLaren is right now dominating. Like in 2025, McLaren is as the most powerful car and dominating the race, and the other teams. Each team designs and builds its own car with with its sponsors, and according to the F1 rules, using millions of dollars and hundreds of engineers while building this car, and the drivers uh, incredibly uh, doing a lot of extreme things like G-forces, lighting reactions, and incredible pressure they got in the race. So that's a hard job to be an F1 driver. As you see, the 2025 driver lineup is Verstappen, Lawson, Leclerc, Hamilton, Alonso, Stroll, Albon, Sainz, Hulkenberg, Bortoleto, Behrman, Ocon, Tsunoda, and it should be Hajar right now here. The picture it's not showing that. Hajar is in the Red Bull second team, and Gasly, Doan, Norris, and Piastri. Norris and Piastri dominating right now in the 2025. So let's continue again. Uh, how does a race weekend work? Let's talk about it. A typical race weekend lasts 3 days. Uh, it's generally happening like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. In Friday, the drivers practicing and learn the track, get into the track, and teams collect data from the track. They want everything's to be ready for the race day. And Saturday, it's gonna be a qualifying rounds, uh, where the drivers try to set the fastest lap. The fastest starts first on the grid, and Sunday, it's generally a race day. The main event is here. They they qualify at the Saturday, and with that qualifying position, they start the race, and drivers compete over like 50 or 60, 70 change laps. Uh, they are compete, and points are given based on finishing position. And at the end of the season, the driver with the most points becomes the world champion. And the same for teams in the constructors championships. Okay, let's get into the technology and strategy and safety of F1. Even though F1 is about speed, it's also about brains and teamwork, working together. It's connected with working together. Each car is like high-tech computer. Sensor everywhere. There's sensors everywhere in the car, all over the car. The materials are generally carbon fiber, and there's hybrid engines and complex aerodynamics. It has complex aerodynamics. During the race, strategy is everything. Everything can change the can change everything, even weather. Everything is important. The F1 is all about strategy. So, and even if a small mistake can ruin the whole race for you, and maybe even you lose your championship. And let's come to the safety. In the past, Formula One was extremely dangerous. Many drivers lost their lives, especially during the 1950s and 1980s. But safety has improved, of course, with the technologies improving. Now F1 cars have to protect the driver's head. Fireproof suit. It has fireproof suits, advanced crash structures. F1 is so safe right now, and I want to show you some video that from the past. There are so serious accidents happening in the past.
Yeah.
Let's watch it.
Watch the events unfold as Jos Verstappen comes
F1 pit fire.
in for his first scheduled pit stop at the 1994 German Grand Prix.
It's 1994, by the way. Fuel
There's the fuel hose. A little bit of a problem. Is that fuel splashing? Horrific.
Greatest fear of everyone up and down the pit lane. The mechanic. His overalls in flames, ran into the garage, then thought better of it and came back out.
It was so dangerous back then.
The fire was put out.
Now they're not using, they're not refill the fuel because it's now they can finish the race with the fuel that they started, so there's no need for refilling the fuel right now, so there is no any dangerous action right now. Okay, let's continue. Okay, let's come to the legends of F1. Over the years, many great names have shaped F1 history. Maybe you know some of the names. Juan Manuel Fangio, a five-time world champion from the 1950s, the first F1 races. And Michael Schumacher, you probably heard the name. I want to show the man. It's a Ferrari pilot, so famous. And of course, Lewis Hamilton. He has 7 championships in F1. You probably heard that too. And Max Verstappen with Red Bull race. He is the new era superstar. Most child supporting him. And let's talk about why people love F1. The people love extreme sports. The people love speed and adrenaline. of course, can love F1 because F1 has speed, adrenaline, strategy, all together, and everything. So let's do a summary. We learned that the Formula One is a world's most most known uh, race motorsports, and uh, the, from the very first race in the 1950s, F1 continues to push the limits of what's possible. Thank you for listening to this lesson. We're going to continue with F1 lessons. See you in the next lessons. Thank you for listening to me. Okay, bye.